My poor neglected Bongo. She's been sat here like this because I got really annoyed with the power steering. It just keeps on leaking. I've changed the pump, still leaking, so I'm going to revisit that. You now find me looking at the engine. The engine in the Bongo is under the driver and passenger seat, so we got those flipped back. And what I've got on here is a power steering leak that I cannot find. So I have invested in all this stuff, and that's a glow-in-the-dark dye. I'm going to put that into the power steering. I'm going to run that through, and then hopefully I'll be able to find the leak. We've already changed the rack and seals and it's still leaking, so fingers crossed that works. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop out the little filter screen because it takes so long for it to get through there. Come on. There's another filter in there, so it's not so bad. So I'm going to rest him there for the minute. Get oil everywhere, why not? Now the leak is so bad, this will all be gone in about an hour without even running the car. So I'm just putting enough in there. That'll do. Let's pour some of this in here. Now I've done the same thing to find the leak on the water system, and this stuff works great. If I can get into it. No, I don't want to tip this everywhere. That's probably enough. This does up to 10 litres, and I've only got half a litre in there, so that should glow like hell. Put that down by there. Right, I need a rag before I make everything else glow. Let's pop this back in. Oh, it's the cat hiding down there, can you see? Hello, cat. Right, let's get the top back on there. Oh, Bongo, stop beeping. You can see this has already lost an inch of oil. So let's go get the UV and see what that looks like. Right then, let's see if we can see a leak anywhere. Now the good news is there's none around the pump. There's none on the hoses. Let's have a look what it looks like in here. Yeah, you can see it. Can you see on there? Yeah, that is glowing bright colours. So that's what we're looking for. See this in? Bright. Okay. So right, here we are in the engine bay. And those two dots there are because I pulled out the dipstick. I don't know if you can, how well you can see, it's a bit awkward in here. There's my dipstick. I think you can see the extra drips there that just come off it. I think I found my power steering fluid. So this here is the bane of my life. It keeps on leaking. There's no oil on the floor. I've done the UV test. That's showing oil is getting into the engine. So what it is, this comes down and connects into this here on this side of the engine, and then on the front side of the engine over there we've got the pump that I've changed. And I did reuse some second-hand seals, but they were looked in good condition, so I'm going to take these off, take those seals off. I'm going to take this side off as well, have a look what seals are on this side, have a look at the pipe connection in between the cams and see where that oil might be going. Excuse the damaged thumb. This is our power steering pump. Fluid comes in here from the reservoir bottle. Pump runs and it comes out of here, runs down to the steering rack, and then a pipe comes back from the steering rack into the reservoir, and that's the circle that this is running. So this seal here is just an oil seal to stop the engine oil coming out. So this, you know, it feels nice and tight, but there's a bit of clanking going on in there. So what we need to do now, undo these 4 bolts, pop the back off and see what's inside, and see if it's repairable, and if it's not, we'll get a new one of these. Right guys, I've got you precariously placed so you get to see this at the same time as I get to see it. Okay, so that's what's in there. Right, there's a circlip in there which is holding this in. So I'm going to pop that circlip out and lift this section out. See what's in the middle of this. Because somewhere that oil is getting out. Coming out really easy, just gentle taps. There we go. And I reckon that's our problem there. That bad boy. So I think he needs to come out, and he is what needs to be replaced. He's looking pretty minging. So I tap him out, and then I'm gonna take all these seals over to my local seals and bearings place, and I'll get a new seal in there. That bearing feels alright. Don't think it needs a new bearing, but I might consider popping that off and changing it. I don't know how much of a pain in the ass that's going to be, but it's lovely and quiet, so I think that's pointless. Let's get this seal changed. Right, that's out. Sorry about all this, but it's just how I've got you balanced. Yeah, that's absolutely rock hard. So it's gone. I think that's our problem. And by the magic of editing, I've now got a seal. Right, so I've got new seals, popped a new seal in there, I've got a new seal there. I don't think there's anything wrong with those seals really, but I've got to repair, so change them anyway. Where else have we got new seals? I haven't got any on there. Oh, on this part of the pump over here, got all these new seals on there. And new one on there. Alright, and this is the main one that was the problem. No, I got a new seal. He's a bit thinner, but should do the job. You can see this one had gone all rough and corroded. Same on the inside, rough and corroded. It's rock hard. This one's a little bit nicer, a bit softer, all nice and clean. I've given this a bit of a clean up, and he should just slide on there nice and tight. Yeah, he's on there nice and firm. Right, make sure there's no grit on there, and I'll push him back in and get this together. Just started to clean this out. You can see there's all that corrosion in there as well, so I'm going to get that all cleaned out before you get that seal back in. Right, that's all cleaned out the best I can get it. You're going to press that little guy into there. I'm going to do that off camera because I need to tap him in. And then I'm going to slide it all back together and put it back in the van. New seal is in. That will now pop into there. I'm going to tap that bearing back in. So same old thing, I'm just going to gently tap down on this to knock him in until it's sticking out there the right amount. Now, you go in up to that seat there, so I just tap it through till it stops. So that's the inside of your power steering pump, and you see that T on the top. Well, this has also got a T, So those are going to line up there and sit on those pins. And that should be our pump back together. I'm going to slide it on there, and hopefully that's it, job done. So this is the location of the power steering pump. I'll just give this all a wipe now before I put it back on. So I'll just slide on, bolt on that end, bolt on that end which this pipe connects to, and then I'll put the other pump back on the other side. That sits on there. As look, you can see. Ooh. And then we'll put the clips back on, and then we'll fill it with oil and see what happens. There you go. Put the bolt through there, and I'll put the nut on there, and then that connects onto there, and then we've got this up there, which that'll connect back onto. Sorry, I'm doing this handheld under here, guys. So that's the power line there, the pressure line on the power steering. That nut holds it on there. That'll screw back in there. It's a 17mm if you're interested. Right, I'll tighten those up and pop the other one on the other side. Right, you can see down in there, it's all back on. All the pipes are just back on. I've got to fill this up. Right, top this up. And then I'll have to wait till the morning to find out if it's fixed or not, because it kind of drains out overnight. So I'm going to fill that up now, and I'll come back and check in the morning. And yes, for the eagle-eyed amongst you, I forgot to put this back in. And before you say that should have been in there before I poured it in. Have you ever tried filling one of these up with one of those in? It takes bloody ages. Right then, guys, it's the next day. Normally when I do this, the level has dropped normally quite significantly as well. So we've changed that seal, we topped it up. I revved it up and I've done the steering wheel a bit to pull it through, then I topped it back up. Let's have a look. Fingers crossed. This is the first time I've seen it today as well. I don't want to look. Ah, it's still full. That's good. Fingers crossed that means that's fixed. Fantastic. All that down to a seal that was a couple of pence. That makes me very happy. I am so glad that's sorted. That has been the bane of my life since, well, way before lockdown. I've been chasing power steering fluid leaks on this van for ages. I've changed the rack, I've changed the pipes, I've changed various other bits and bobs. I changed that pump on the front, which I thought was a power steering pump and wasn't, so that was a waste of money. And then eventually I fixed it with a £1 seal. So I'm landed. A replacement pump is actually 250 quid for a refurbished one, so that's a good deal. So that's job done. Now it's a couple of days later. I'm sitting here, I can see the reservoir from here, it's still full. I've played with the steering, it's all great. I've got a myriad of other problems to solve before the van's ready for the festivals, but I've got 3 weeks to get that sorted before we hit the first festival. So I got to crack on. So thank you very much, guys. Thanks for watching. Please do, do all the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, all that sort of stuff. And I'll see you soon. Cheers.